Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Hang Out with Coach Kerry. This is my first anniversary episode, and I'm really excited about being able to share with you this milestone. Yay! and play around a little bit with some of the effects that are here. Anyway, I just want to again thank you so much for coming on and sharing this episode with me, and thank you to all of my panelists today as well. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It is in fact Easter Monday, and so for those of you who are watching it live, thank you very much for taking some time out of your long weekend. And again, for my VIP panelists for being here today. I can't believe it's been 52 episodes. 52 episodes. Yay! And so here we are today to celebrate this this milestone, because we all have milestones in our business. And today we have some extra special things, and that is that I've asked my panelists to tell you obviously who they are and what they do, but also what I also have asked them to do is to share with you what offer they have for you today. They have a special bonus for you listening to this anniversary episode. So Bonnie Mitchell, we're going to start with you. Why don't you tell me what it is that you do, and also what our panelists can receive from you from listening to this episode.
Good morning, Kerry, and everyone else. Good to be here. I am Bonnie Mitchell, and I own a boutique graphic design company called Mitchell Creative. So I help businesses all over the world increase their sales and revenue by creating effective marketing material that support their brand message, and their brand image. So as I like to reinforce to everyone, your brand appeal really is a big deal. So I ensure consistency across all these marketing materials so that there's a quickly recognizable brand that is created that speaks to their target audience. And today I have a sheet of the 10 most common brand mistakes that small and new companies make. So because I am passionate about helping companies build successful brands, I've made this sheet available to everyone who is interested in reading it. And I think there's some really valuable information on there that can help people make sure they get off on the right foot with their branding material. And that can be found at www.bonniemitchell.ca. And that's right on the front page for you.
Great. Thanks, Bonnie. I really appreciate that. And I will be posting all of the links to this on all social media links as well, just as a reminder for everyone. So thanks, Bonnie. Kathy Scott, tell us about you and what you have for everyone and how they can get it from you.
Well, good morning and congratulations, Kerry. This is a wonderful milestone for your business. My business is Niche Travel, and I specialize in women's small group tours all around the world. My tours are boutique, small groups of 12, and are very much women-centric activities. And really what it's all about is it's adventurous women that want to see the world in a safe and fun way, but they don't necessarily have a built-in travel partner. So maybe their husband doesn't want to do the same thing that they do, or the girlfriends don't want to travel to the same destination, or for whatever reason they just don't have a built-in travel partner. And yet most women are social creatures, so we kind of like to do things in batches, and we find the small group of a dozen ladies is just the perfect number. Of course, Kerry, you're hosting a tour for us this year to Ireland, so that's very exciting. And so I've got a couple things today that I wanted to offer. One was for anybody listening today that wants to book onto your Ireland tour, I'd like to offer them $100 off of the tour as long as they book within the next week. And then the other thing is I have a wonderful packing list here that is a combination of all of the different tips and items that I have discovered through the years of traveling with amazing women who have traveled a lot, and all sorts of things you would never think of bringing on your own. So you can get that by going to nichewomenstours.ca, and there's a little spot on the right hand side for you to sign up for that. So that's all about us.
Great. Thank you, Kathy. Excellent. And Dr. Diana, tell us about you and what you have for everyone.
Thank you, Kerry, and good morning to you. I am Dr. Diana Galbraith, and I have a company called First Get Healthy. And what I do is I work with women, mostly over the age of 40, but women who have invested a lot of time and energy into their business, into their family, and basically at the expense of their own health. And they're looking at ways and means to get some of their youthful energy and exuberance back that they've maybe lost through the years, and possibly lose a few pounds along the way too. And I really try and work with them in a way that fits with their lifestyle, because I know we all have very, very busy lifestyles. What I'm offering today is a mini ebook called 10 Essential Steps to Healthy Weight Loss. Now, this is also for those who don't necessarily want to lose weight but just want to get healthier as well. So it can be used in that scenario as well. But what I find is so many women, their focus is all about calories or all about exercise, and those seem to be the two areas that get all the attention. And while they're important, there's so much more to healthy weight loss, and just, as I said, to just being healthy. And so I cover a lot of other areas in there, such as sleep and hormones and stress, and really give them a good overview. And they can find that at www.1stgethealthy.com. And I'm also going to offer 10% off of either of my 101-day programs. And if they want that, they can just punch Get Healthy into the coupon code that will come up on the website there. So 2 offers there. And again, for that first one, 10 Essential Steps to Healthy Weight Loss, when they go to my website, if they click on resources, they'll see the place to find the handout there. So that's thank you very much. And
you're welcome. Thank you. And we're going to move on to Grace. Tell us what you do, Grace, and what you have for everyone today.
Good morning, Kerry. It's very exciting here to be here today for the 1-year anniversary of your Hangout. I'm a counsellor. My business is Graceful Solutions, and I help women break the habits of emotional eating and take control of their lives and lose weight. And I have a 4-week group coming up this week called Change Your Mind, Change Your Weight, starting on Thursday. And what I'm offering is tips on how to break the habit of comfort eating. We all know what that's like. We all enjoy our food, but some of us eat more than we should. And I'm really interested in the emotional reasons underneath and how to sort of unravel those. So you can find me at gracefulsolutions.ca.
Great. Thank you very much, Grace. Good. Excellent. And Mary Lou, tell us about you and what you have for everyone today.
Good morning, Kerry. Thanks for having me, and congratulations. A milestone is very important.
Yes,
my name is Mary Lou Newbold. I'm the co-owner of the Mayfair Optometric Clinic here in Victoria, and we're the leading experts in eye care. So we do everything from full eye health evaluations, contact lenses, glasses, follow-up to refractive surgery, and we diagnose and help manage glaucoma, macular degeneration, all kinds of eye health issues. So we take great pride in doing a really good job for all of our patients. So for today, in honor of your milestone, Mayfair Optometric also has a bit of a milestone. We've launched our new website. We're very proud of it. Just came up live on Thursday, and starting later today and into the end of... Very good, thank you. And starting later today and going to the end of the month, we are offering a chance to win a free pair of glasses, courtesy of Silhouette, which is the frame I'm wearing today, and Nikon has come together to offer a free pair of glasses, which a Silhouette and a Nikon lens can be as much as $1,000. So it's a great opportunity. So I encourage everyone to visit our new site, www.mayfairoptometric.com or mayfairoptometric.ca. They both go to the same place, and enter to win our free pair of glasses. And congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I just want to apologize to everyone. Obviously, the sun's coming right in my face here, and you won't be able to see me very well for a few minutes while it seems to shift. So what I may do is just take a short break and see if I can change the lighting here, because all of a sudden I look like a ghost here. So hold the phone for just a minute, and I'm going to see if I can change the what's happening with the light here. Aha! There we are, significantly better. Yay! Okay, much better. So let's get on with the episode here. And so, Bonnie, what's your question for me today?
Well, yes, and congratulations indeed, Kerry, on 52 episodes. That is very exciting. And actually, I do think that the Google Hangouts have been a great format. I've found that I've learned lots from you and, lots from the other people that are on as well. So what I'm wondering is what was it that inspired you to start doing these Google Hangouts, and how did you get started with them?
Great question. What's interesting is that I know that if you want to be seen as an expert in your field, whatever your industry happens to be, and I'm speaking to you, Bonnie, but I'm also speaking to our panelists and then the audience that's listening to this as well. And don't we all want to be seen as an expert by our customers, our clients, potential customers and clients? And one of the ways to do that I had been reading a lot about was using video. That video is the best because the social media world, we've got a lot of written material, but really video has a way of you engaging with your audience really quickly. You build what I like to call the KLT factor, which is the know, like, and trust factor. And it happens really quickly when you do video. So that's what kind of inspired me to do is I knew that it was a way for me to get my message out, for me to be able to give material to people that might not know about me but desperately need some of this information to help them navigate how to be successful in this arena of being an entrepreneur, a small business owner, a solo entrepreneur. And then what I did, and I really want to share this with you because I think that with all of us, there's something about our business, and maybe even pause for a moment and ask yourself, what it is about my business that I'm hesitating, I'm procrastinating, I'm nervous about doing. And if hopefully you've thought of one of those things. So I had, because mine was doing video. It seemed so complicated. I was going to have to get a studio, somebody to record it. I was going to have to write the scripts, and on and on and on. I had all of these reasons why. And then I came across Google Hangouts and thought, okay, this is maybe a much easier way for me to be able to do it. I can speak off the cuff, which I enjoy doing. I love this format of sort of asking questions. So I actually went out and found someone else who was doing what I wanted to do. Because what I knew was if it was left up to me, the idea of, how am I going to use the technology, or what length of time do I do? All of those things would have been excuses for me to avoid taking that step into something that was going to be challenging or maybe a new learning curve. So I realized that procrastination could easily set in if I got stuck on those things. So I found someone else who was doing it. And I asked some questions. I found out some of the basics to at least put my toe in the water. And I watched my first couple of episodes, and they're very different than these ones are today. I was very nervous and quite stiff, and we didn't have as much fun and laugh as we are today, and that's okay. I'm okay with that because I actually want to model for you what you're going to have to do when you're trying new things in your business. It's not going to be comfortable the first time you do it, nor the second, and maybe not even up to the fifth time. But at a certain point, you are going to become comfortable with it. So again, what inspired me is I knew it was a way for me to be able to get information into the hands, into the ears of people who needed the information. And I made the decision I wasn't going to let technology get in the way. And then the last final thing is I actually declared publicly that I was going to be launching my first episode on a certain date. And so then I had to commit to that because, like you, I like to keep my promises when I commit to something, and so I did. So I forced myself into a timeline, into a structure. I made myself accountable, and I know how important accountability is as a coach. That's one of the most key pieces in a coaching relationship is having accountability built into whatever you're doing. And so for me, I set up that accountability for me so I would do what I said I was going to do. So Bonnie and the rest of the panelists and our audience, I would just challenge you to think about what's that one thing right now you're hesitating on, and maybe use those three pieces that I did. Decide what or find out what it is, so get clear on what it is. then take the first steps with some help. Find someone, find some way, pay someone to help you do a Google Hangout. I paid somebody a couple of hours of their time to be able to help me with a few bits and pieces that I didn't know how to do. And then commit to it publicly, set the structure in place, market it, start putting it onto social media, and then you have to show up. So that's my answer for you today, Bonnie. Thank you very much. Kathy, how about you? What's your question for me? Oh, Kathy, I think you're still on mute, my dear. There you go.
Sorry about that. Well, so obviously, Kerry, this is a really big milestone for you, being 52 episodes. That's just wonderful. So another question then is, what are some other milestones for your business?
Well, I think and again, another great question, Kathy, because I think in business we want to have lots of different milestones. When we do our strategic plan for our year, we're going to set up milestones during the year or benchmarks along the way that we're going to have hit. So for sales volume, for a milestone in terms of maybe even a conversion rate. If you are an online business and the number of people that come to your website, how many people opt in? So looking at that. Another milestone could be how many actually subscribers to your newsletter or whatever material you might have. That could be a milestone as well. Profit in your business. That can be a milestone. That if you've had a month where you've actually you've looked at what your gross sales, you look at what your expenses are and what your profit is at the end of the month. That absolutely can be a milestone, and that's really important. It could be just a gross revenue amount for that particular month. Your best month ever, your best week ever. It could be doing good works as well. A milestone that you've maybe sponsored a particular charity, and this is a milestone that maybe you've reached up a certain target as far as how much money you want to raise, or how many of your team members are actively involved in it. So there's many different kinds of things that you can use as milestones in your business. And let's face it, we all like to be working towards something. Day after day after day after day gets pretty routine. It feels kind of the same. If we miss that opportunity to put those milestones in place. So I want to encourage all of you to think about what kind of milestones could I add to my business. If you're already doing some, what new ones could I add? Your best day in terms of sales, whatever it might happen to be. Make sure that you put those in place, because they will pull you forward. They will give you your excitement. They'll be short-term things to look forward to. I'm a firm believer that 90 days is about the longest time we can sustain any really focused activity. That we need to kind of refresh and then move on that to the next one. So obviously, putting some benchmarks in place for quarterly is a really good piece as well. So thanks for the question, Kathy. That was great. I really appreciate it. So let's move on to Dr. Diana. What's your question for me?
I love your effects here, Kerry, and the way that you're celebrating your 52nd episode here. But when people set milestones and they achieve them, what are some other ways that they can celebrate? Like, just some ideas that you have.
Great. Yes, I'm obviously having some fun with playing with some of these effects today, because it is an anniversary sort of birthday kind of celebration. What I encourage my clients to do all the time is to think about what are the things that kind of fill them up, either emotionally or physically. What are those things that really for them are not necessarily treats, but could be something that they would consider to be celebratory. So, for an example, a weekend away. Quite often when I work with clients, especially those who are, really putting a lot of pedal to the metal, they're working long hours, they may be in growth mode in their business, a really good opportunity for them to be able to say, every 90 days we're going to take a weekend away. So maybe husband and yourself are going to take a weekend away, or you're going to go away on a girlfriend's weekend, you're going to go away with your family, whatever those kinds of things, to really celebrate it. It's also kind of the prize at the end. So again, it's that way of really marking that. You also can look at even smaller things. They don't necessarily need to be as big, but again, what's important to you? Even saying, at the end of our busy week, on Saturday mornings, I'm going to go for a hike, and that actually fills you up. This constant working, there's a false economy about constant working. And I had some clients in my office just a couple of weeks ago where they hadn't taken any time off in a really, really long time. And I really encourage them to take some time off, because what happens is we think that this constant working, this longer working hours and everything else, we're getting more done. And in fact, it is a false economy, because what happens is we're tired, we're exhausted, we're less effective, we're less creative, we're less efficient, and it takes us longer to do things than we would if we were feeling refreshed. So in fact, mandating time off is a really good piece, because in fact you actually get more done. So I want to challenge any of you that went, oh, I couldn't set that time away, or I couldn't take that out. Yes, absolutely you can, because in fact you get a lot more done. And I really that if you've taken time to sort of recharge your batteries and do a little celebration, how you come back feeling so much better. What's important to you? Look for those milestones when you're setting them, and then look at and say, what would be a celebration for me? It could even be just a wonderful dinner out. But whatever that it happens to be for you, make sure it's meaningful for you, not to somebody else, and then set those in place. And then work really hard, and then when you reach that milestone, celebrate it and acknowledge the fact that you've done something. We have to stop and take time during this busyness. Often what we focus on is what we have not got completed, what's still not done. And I want to challenge you all to kind of shift that focus and really focus on what you have got done. Because in focusing on that is where motivation, inspiration, creativity sits. When we're beating ourselves up about the things that we haven't got done, creativity and motivation and inspiration do not live there. So I want you to look at the positives and, again, take those opportunities to have those milestones and celebrate them. So thanks, Diana. That was a great question. We're going to hop all the way over to Mary Lou for your question for me, and then Grace will have you at the back end. So Mary Lou, what's your question for me?
Sorry, Kerry. I'm a bit curious. I know a little bit about your background. Obviously, we've been working together for a while now. But, anytime you reach a milestone, it's also a good time to reflect. And so my question is, what are some of the experiences that have brought you to today's milestone?
Great. Thank you. Well, like most of you, of our panelists and our audience, I'm a solo entrepreneur. Yes, I have a business partner, my husband. We have different aspects of the work that we do. So really a lot of my own creativity and a lot of my own success in terms of getting my clients and the products that I create have to all be generated through myself. And like a lot of you, there was a period in my business where I was really struggling. I had a lot of questions as, is this really meant for me? Is this really where I'm supposed to be doing my work? Working one-on-one with my clients, I knew I had value for them. They were getting great value. I felt inspired. They felt inspired. They were getting the results that they wanted. So I knew that the work I did was of value. I just wasn't getting the traction that I wanted. I just wasn't getting the number of clients that I wanted. It just felt like it was hard work. And I really, what I learned through that whole process was that I had to shift a couple things. One of them is I hired a couple coaches, so I had to do exactly what I tell my clients to do. I needed to continually plug myself into inspiration and motivation, which of course this show can offer for people if you make it a consistent weekly habit to be able to listening to these episodes, whether you watch them live or whether you watch them as a recording. Putting that habit in place really helped. I also had to understand more about business. That I really had to, yes, I grew up in a small business family. We had lots of conversation about small business around the table, but I really hadn't become learned about it, and so that was for me a shift. So that's when I went and did my coach training for business coaching. So I got my licensed professional business coach certification, and then I've since gone on and got my advanced professional business coach certification. And that was really for me not only to be able to support my clients and be able to give them that information so I could actually know enough about business to really help them around having a successful business model, but of course it happened for me too. I had to do what I tell my clients to do. I had to go to school and I had to learn that. And then I kind of packaged that all together in the work that I really do for my clients. I became my own client. And I said, what do I need to put in place? Well, I need to do a strategic plan. I need to do a marketing plan. I need to set my goals. I need to set benchmarks. I need to look at my numbers. All of those kinds of things. And that's really what's brought me here today, is that, the good news is I, had that time when things weren't going very well, and now my business is doing extremely well. And that, for me, has really been a result of that accumulation of awareness for me, and then actually taking action on it and doing something about it. And that's really what I bring to this milestone, is all of those hard-earned and hard-won lessons, I guess, that hopefully I can shorten that for all of you and my audience as well. So thanks, Mary Lou, for asking about my background and my history. I appreciate that. That's great. All right, Grace, what's your question for me?
Well, that was a question. The last question was about your background, so I'm interested in your future. It's interesting that we're on having this episode on Easter Monday, sort of new beginnings. So I'm curious about what are your next milestones, and what would you recommend for us in terms of setting milestones?
Well, obviously, you can tell I'm a firm believer of setting them. I think it's a really important thing, and you'll look at your business and your business model and determine what are those ones for you. I would really encourage you that as soon as this episode is over, to sit down and think of what they are, because action right now will generate better results than waiting for you to think about it, because then other things will get in the way. Some milestones for me would be having I'm going to take a number of these episodes, and I'm having them converted into audio. And so I will have the Hangout with Coach Kerry show podcasts. And so the people who want to be able to listen to them on audio, they can download them to their iPhone, to their iPod while they're out walking or doing exercise or whatever they have. They can listen to the episodes over and over again. So that's a way. So that's one of my milestones, is when that actually gets done. And my plan is that'll be done in the next 2 weeks. So that'll be another time for celebration for me. Yay! And to continue with these episodes. So that, what will it look like a year from now? So my second anniversary. I'm always open to how they might shift and change and what they might look like, but that will be another one for me. I'm also launching a group coaching program, which in fact is my gift today. So for anyone that will go to my website, HangOutWithCoachKerry.com, Kerry is spelled Kerry, for people who are listening on audio, and by April 25th, I would like them to comment on the video, this particular video, on the website, and what I will do is I will gift one person a seat in my online group coaching program. It's a 90-day, you heard that word 90 days earlier, so focus for 90 days. It's a small group coaching program that will be using technology online, so you could be anywhere in the world. And the value of that program is $297 a month, and you're going to be gifted that 3 months of that. So that's going to be, almost $1,000. So that's going to be for somebody who writes on my website and tells me what they're getting from this particular episode, maybe some pearls. They're going to do that. So another milestone for me is to launch my next group coaching program, my small group coaching program. There's going to be 6 people in the program, and myself, so people are going to get really good one-on-one coaching from me, and of course they're going to hear the other people are what their challenges are as well, and that of course opens up a lot more learning for everyone in the group. So it's a very effective way to do it. I facilitate face-to-face, of course, group coaching, but this is an opportunity now for people who don't have to physically be anywhere. It's much more efficient in time, and you can be anywhere really in the English-speaking world. So that's another milestone for me, is to launch that one. And I have another live group MasterMind program in Victoria that I'm going to be doing, and so that's my next one. Plus, I've got I set my milestone for me for how many times I'm going to be interviewed on other people's radio shows or podcasts or interviews, and so that's another one for me as well. So I'm going to encourage all of you to think, outside the box. What would be a new milestone? And hopefully the ones that I've set for myself have challenged you for thinking about some new milestones for yourself. So again, everyone, how you can find this episode is go to HangOutWithCoachKerry.com, listen to it again if you're listening to it live. Please comment when you see the video on Facebook or on Google Plus and YouTube and on the website. And again, I thank you so much to my panelists, Bonnie Mitchell, Kathy Scott, Dr. Diana Galbraith, Grace Gary, and Mary Newbold. Thank you so much for being on my episode today. I really appreciate your time and your support over this last year, these 52 episodes. It wouldn't have been anywhere near as much fun or interesting for the audience if it hadn't been for all of you. And so everyone, see you next Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, live for our next call. And why don't all of our panelists take themselves off mute and just say goodbye to everybody today.
Bye.
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 Bye, Kerry.
Bye, everybody. Thank you again.